you ever lied today? Statistically, the answer is probably yes, not because you're a bad person, but because your brain was designed to do it. The most dangerous lies are not the ones we tell other people, they're the ones we tell ourselves. And once you understand why the human mind creates those lies, you'll never look at your own thoughts the same way again. Most people think lying is a choice, a decision made by dishonest people. But psychology suggests something far more unsettling. The ability to lie is one of the greatest advantages the human brain has ever developed. Not because lying is good, but because survival has never been simple. Imagine living 50,000 years ago. There were no cities, no police, no hospitals, no supermarkets. Every day was a struggle to survive. You depended on a small tribe for food, protection, and belonging. Being accepted meant life. Being rejected could mean death. In that world, your reputation mattered more than almost anything else. If your tribe believed you were trustworthy, you stayed. If they believed you were dangerous, you were left behind. This created an extraordinary challenge for the human brain. How do you protect your place in the group, when telling the complete truth could sometimes put you at risk? The answer wasn't always strength. It wasn't always intelligence. Sometimes, it was deception. Not the kind we usually imagine. Not grand conspiracies or criminal fraud, but small, almost invisible lies. A hunter exaggerating his confidence before a dangerous hunt. A parent hiding fear to protect a child. A leader appearing calm during a crisis, even when terrified inside. Those moments weren't simply acts of dishonesty, they were strategies for survival. Over thousands of generations, the brain became incredibly skilled at managing social situations. It learned when honesty created trust, and when complete honesty created danger. That ancient survival system still influences us today. Think about a job interview. You don't describe every weakness you have, you present your best qualities. Think about your first date. You choose your words carefully, you try to leave a good impression. Even social media follows the same pattern. People rarely share their worst moments. Instead, they carefully select the happiest photos, the biggest achievements, the best version of themselves. Psychologists call this impression management, the natural tendency to control how other people see us. Surprisingly, this behavior exists in almost every culture on Earth. It isn't taught, it appears naturally. Because deep inside the human brain, acceptance still feels like survival. But something fascinating happens when impression management goes too far. Eventually, we stop managing other people's opinions and begin rewriting our own reality. Someone fails an exam. Instead of admitting they didn't study enough, they blame the questions. An employee misses a deadline. Instead of accepting poor planning, they blame bad luck. A person remains unhealthy for years while convincing themselves they'll change next Monday. The lie slowly becomes more comfortable than the truth. Psychologists have a name for this. Self-deception. One of the most powerful psychological defense mechanisms ever discovered. It protects the ego from pain. But it also protects us from growth. Because improvement always begins with one uncomfortable moment, the moment we stop making excuses. The frightening truth is this: most people can easily recognize lies told by others, but they spend an entire lifetime without recognizing the stories they tell themselves. And perhaps, those invisible stories shape our future far more than any lie we ever tell another person. But deception doesn't end with excuses, it changes the way we remember reality itself. One of the most surprising discoveries in psychology is that memory is not a perfect recording, it is a reconstruction. Every time you remember an event, your brain quietly rebuilds it, adding, removing, or even changing details without you realizing it. This is why two people can experience the exact same moment, yet remember it completely differently. Neither of them may be trying to lie, their brains simply created different versions of the truth. Psychologist Elizabeth Loftus spent decades studying this phenomenon. Her research showed that simple suggestions could change people's memories. Some participants even became convinced they had experienced events that never actually happened. If our own memories can be changed, how certain can we really be about the stories we tell ourselves? This is where self-deception becomes dangerous. The more often we repeat an excuse, the more believable it becomes. I don't have enough time. I'm just unlucky. I'm waiting for the perfect moment. Eventually, those sentences stop feeling like excuses. They become identity, and identity is incredibly difficult to change. But psychology also offers hope. Studies show that people who regularly reflect on their decisions, write down their goals, and honestly evaluate their mistakes, are far more likely to break free from self-deception. Because awareness weakens illusion. The truth is rarely comfortable. It forces us to face failure, fear, regret, and responsibility. But every meaningful transformation begins with that uncomfortable truth. Not with motivation, not with confidence, but with honesty. Perhaps the strongest people are not those who never lie. Perhaps they are the people who catch themselves, question themselves, and have the courage to admit, "I was wrong." That single sentence has saved friendships, built great companies, strengthened families, and changed the course of history. In the end, the greatest lie isn't the one you tell someone else, it's the one that keeps you from becoming the person you could have been. So tonight, ask yourself one simple question. What story have I been repeating that is no longer true? Because the moment you stop believing that story, you don't just change your mind, you change your future.